Okay, good afternoon everyone. Nandito naman po tayo sa pagpapatuloy po ng ating Prophetic Insight series on the present truth. Ngayon po ay nagpapasalamat po tayo sa Panginoon na tayo po ay muli ay binigyan ng pagkakataon upang pagpatuloy po ang ating pag-aaral dito po sa makahulang pananaw na kung saan ay we will be discussing more on the prophetic significance of why God, it's really uh, significant to note that God has given us this privilege of knowing what is truth. And our study for today is more on the questions, why is the 1844 significant in relation to the cleansing of the sanctuary, where we will be discussing the historical and prophetic significance of that year, 1844, na kung saan ay dito po nating matatagpuan at maunawaan po mga kapatid na it is not just a history, a part of the history, but it also has a typical significance para po sa ating mga Seventh-day Adventist, ano? At ito po ay ating paggugulan po ng ating panahon sa hapong ito. Nanawa po ay mabigyan po tayo ng karampatang pagkaunawa po dito sa mga prophetic studies na atin pong pinag-aralan, ano? Okay. So ito po yung ating topic. Why is the 1888 or 1844, sorry, significant in relation to the cleansing of the heavenly sanctuary, which this is a continuation of our study when God judges. And we will dig up more on the historical side and the prophetic application of what had been in the past. And we may also deal with the three decrees that had happened before the start of the 2,300 days, where the temple had been established or restored or rebuilt, mga kapatid. So, dito po yung ating prayer thought bago po tayo humiling sa Panginoon ng tulong sa pamagitan po ng Banal na Espiritu, natin pong lubos manawaan ang mga bagay na historical at may prophetic significance, mga kapatid. Sabi po rito, a type of God's spiritual temple. So, it was mentioned in Daniel chapter 8, verse 14 na study na significant po yung pag-umpisa. Okay? The start of the 2,300 days, where it is actually a message that will bring people to restoration as well to God. Okay? Because we note that there has been in the midst or napagitnaan po, nasa gitna po ng long prophecy na ito, 2,300 days, ay yung Dark Ages. Kaya nga po, sabi po rito, the Jewish temple was built of hewn stones quarried out of the mountains, and every stone was fitted for its place in the temple, hewn, polished, and tested before it was brought to Jerusalem. So that's how King Solomon actually built the temple, where there is a quarry in the mountain, and the stone had been already hewn and polished before it will be brought to Jerusalem. And when all were brought to the ground, the building went together without the sound of axe or hammer. So it is a peaceful fitting on the stone that had been hewn and polished. This building represents God's spiritual temple. So therefore mga kapatid, yung pagtatayo po ng templo ay significant po siya. Ano? Kaya nga po yung 1844 is also significant in our study because there is also the cleansing of the sanctuary where those people who have died will be investigated and become a part of the temple of God. Okay. Now, sabi pa po rito na yung temple na ito, spiritual temple, composed of who? Sino pong composed nito? Which is composed of material gathered out of every nation and tongue and people of all grades, high and low, rich and poor, learned and unlearned. So ito po mga kapatid yung significance of the study of the temples, type and antitype, because we know that it says here that the building of the temple represents God's spiritual temple. That's why it is necessary to note that 1844 has significance in the restoration of God's spiritual temple. And it will be understood later because it will be the first decree that will gather and establish or restore that temple of God spiritually. It says here, these are not dead substances to be fitted by hammer and chisel. They are living stones quarried out from the world by the truth. So it means mga kapatid, ang Panginoon po ay nagpapadala ng mensahe. And the 1844 message was actually a message from God. And it will prepare God's people to be established as His temple. Kaya nga po, napaka-significant po ang 1844 ano? Sa cleansing of sanctuary, which it also denotes that when the judgment will be done, then God's temple has already been established. Okay? And restored. Kaya sabi po rito, they are living stones, quarried from the world by the truth. And the great master builder, the Lord of the temple, is now hewing. So there is actually may paglilinis, purifying, judging, and then calling out of God's people to be gathered as God's spiritual temple. Kaya sabi po rito, is now hewing and polishing them and fitting them for their respective places in spiritual temple. Kaya nga po napaka-significance na kung saan ay ating pong mapag-aralan yung pagka-importante po ng 1844 message. When completed, this temple will be perfect in all its parts. The admiration of angels and of men, for its builder and maker is God. Kaya mga kapatid, sa ating pong pag-aaral sa suhetong ito, when God judges, His people will be purified, they will be hewn, they will be polished, and when that will end, mga kapatid, ay yan na po yung spiritual temple of God that will be established and restored, and it will be glorified. Kaya tayo po ay manalangin sa ating paghingi po ng tulong sa ating Panginoon. Dakila at mabagin po naming Ama na nasa langit ka, sa muli kami po ay lubos na nagpapasalamat sa pagkakataon po na inyong pinagkaloob sa bawat isa sa amin, na kami po ay tinipon virtually at nais po namin, Panginoon, na kayo po ang siyang mangusap sa bawat isa sa amin. That you will speak through your words, O God, because you will gather your people from all nations, and there will be a grand establishment and restoration of your temple, O God. And through the study of the sanctuary, O God, we are brought into connection with Thee, that nais po namin na kayo lamang po ang siyang gabay namin sa pamagitan po ng Banal na Espiritu na amin pong maunawaan ang mga bagay na aming pag-aralan sa hapong ito. Salamat Panginoon at amin pong sinasampalatayanan na mangyari ang inyong kalooban, hindi po ang sa amin. Ito po ay aming dalangin dahil lamang po sa matamis na pangalan ng aming Panginoong Yesus. Amen. Okay, so dito po tayo mga kapatid sa ating mga kaibigan na sumusubaybay po sa ating FB Live. Welcome po at bagamat hindi po natin masabi lahat ng mga pangalan po from different places abroad and near, far and near mga kapatid, ay welcome po dito sa ating pag-aaral po. Ang atin pong title as I mentioned, why is 1844 significant in relation to the cleansing of the heavenly sanctuary? Significant siya because it actually starts the gathering of and the restoration of the temple of God. Because we will be dealing today of how the temple had been established or restored at ito ay may significant na nais ng Diyos na atin pong maunawaan sa pagkakataong ito. Okay? Now, ito po yung the temples, okay? Mga temple po ang ating pagkukunan po ng ating pansin, ano? Na kung saan ay bago po mag-umpisa yung 2,300 days, sabi po ron sa prophecy na there was a decree that finish na ma-restore po yung tinatawag nating second temple. Dahil alam po natin mga kapatid na yung templo, okay, templo po na itinayo ni Solomon was actually destroyed. And alam po natin mga kapatid na yung Babylonia had destroyed all the temple. At yun po ang nangyari. Kaya pagdating po ng kapanahunan ni Cyrus, ayun na po mga kapatid, mayroon pong tinatawag natin na decree to rebuild at pinapabalik po ang mga Jews sa Jerusalem dahil sila po ay nasakop ng Babylonia. So it was then in the prophecy at mapapansin po natin dito sa chart na ito ng unang tatlong bar. Ito po yung una is the first decree. Okay? By Cyrus. At atin po yung i-discuss as we go on. Second decree by Darius. And the third decree, which it was the start of the 2,300 days prophecy. Na kung saan niya yun po ay matatapos din. Okay? Dahil doon sa Daniel chapter 8 verse 14, and to 2,300 days, then the sanctuary shall be cleansed. So, we total it from 457 BC up to the time of the 1844, which this is also the first message that draw God's people into restoration, because this is actually the first message, the first angel's message to gather in, mga kapatid, yung mga tinanawagan ng Panginoon na kung saan mapapansin din po natin dito. On the right, we have also the three bars. Okay? These are the first, okay, first message. Okay, na nais ng Panginoon ang kanyang templo ay makumpuni na at mabuo. Pero hindi nangyari po dahil there is a great disappointment at the 1844. At ang pangalawa po rito, there's another message that came that when it was received by God's people, sana nasa kingdom na tayo. It was already or it will be a restoration of all things, but it was rejected. Kaya nga po mayroong pangatlo. Okay? Ito po yung third decree na kung saan ay yun po ay magkapariyo sa left, may 30 decree, at dito po sa right ay mayroon din pong 3 dekrito. Okay? So atin pong patuloy na pag-aralan at let's open our eyes, our mind into these things mga kapatid dahil napakalaga po ito. Okay? Ang purpose po ng ating pag-aaral na ito is to trace the events prior to the rebuilding of the Second Temple. Okay? Yung Second Temple na ito mga kapatid ay yun po yung dekrito ni Artaxerxes na naitayo po ang temple. Na yun po ang temple na nadatnan po ni Christ. Okay? Ngunit na-destroy din po ito, okay, ng Roman Empire representing Babylon as well. Okay, so ito po ay maunawaan po natin as we go along, no? Na kung saan itong rebuilding of the Second Temple is a type of, of what will be established or restored in the latter days. Okay? Yan po ang ating premise po dito sa ating pag-aaral. Na its significance, ang kanyang kahalaga nito ay para po sa last day people of God as His spiritual temple, the antitype. Okay? So yan po yung pundasyon ng ating pag-aaral ngayon, no? Na kung saan ay pinapaunahan po natin ang ating mga kaibigan, mga kapatid, na itong ating pinag-aralan ngayon ay we will trace back, atin pong suriin sa kasaysayan kung ano po ang nangyari bago na itatag po yung templo, na kung saan yun din po ang pag-umpisa ng 2,300 years. At natapos noong 1844, which is also the first message to restore back God's temple, spiritual temple mga kapatid, His people in these last days. So dito po ay ating maunawaan na there are things that we need to understand na mayroon pong unang temple na tinayo ni Solomon. That is the first temple. Pero anong nangyari po mga kapatid sa first temple na tinayo ni King Solomon? Okay. Ang nangyari po mga kapatid ay it was destroyed and robbed by pagan worship. Dahil bago pa man mamatay po si King Solomon ay talagang nagkaroon po siya ng idolatry. Nagpatayo po siya ng mga altar for Baal sa pagan god. Kaya nga po ay it was characterized that the pagan worship of Solomon put in danger the temple. Kaya nga po after po niya mga kapatid ay nagkaroon na po ng destruction, destroy the temple. At ang nangyari po mga kapatid ay there's actually the time where God caused that the people had been in captivity. Kaya nakaptive po sila ng Babylon, ano? At lahat po ng mga Jews of the time were actually imprisoned or nasa captivity po sila. Nandun po sila sa Babylonia. Kaya nga po, they worship idols. They need to comply with what the government or what the kingdom of Babylon is giving them. Kaya nga po, nawala po yung mga kapatid. Ngunit, pagkahulog po ng Babylonia, okay, tapos po ng Babylonia, ano pong nangyari? Okay? Sa panahon ng yon, yan na po yung dekrito ni Cyrus. Ano pong dekrito ni Cyrus? Okay, all the Jews should go back to Jerusalem to establish the second, what? Second temple. Okay? Pero natuloy po ba? Mga kapatid, it was not. Hindi po natuloy ang pag-establish po ng temple hanggat dumating po yung second decree kay Darius na kung saan ay hindi rin po na natuloy. Ano? At parang hopeless sila na maitayo na po yung temple. Ngunit dumating po sa kapanahunan ni Artaxerxes. Okay? Mayroon po tayong babasahin later. Atin lang pong binibigyan ng background, historical background kung paano po itinayo yung second temple na nadatnan po ni Kristo. Na kung saan ay yung dekrito ni Artaxerxes, it is actually to beautify and to complete the establishment and the restoration of the temple. Kaya nga po ay yan po yung temple na nadatnan ni Kristo. Okay? So makikita ninyo po dito sa chart, we will focus, okay? Itong pag-aaral na ito, this study reveals the different typology. Pag sinabi pong typological study, ito po ay mga nangyari na. Ibig sabihin, yun po yung pattern na mangyayari sa pangalawa. Ibig sabihin, there is another fulfillment, the double application, mga kapatid. Ngunit ito po ang nangyayari sa Old Testament is actually a literal one. And it is called typical. Pag sinabing typical, mga kapatid, ay larawan ng mangyayari sa huling panahon. Okay? Okay. So yan po, mga kapatid, different typologies and their antitype. Yung antitype, mga kapatid, ay kahawig. Okay? Yung katumbas ng mga nangyari noon. Okay? Regarding the first and second ancient temples. Okay? And their events. For us to grasp the concept of the study, it is essential first to understand the chart na kung saan ay nandito po, no? Na makikita po natin, pinakita po natin na itong first temple na ipinatayo po ni King Solomon was destroyed during the pagan worship at na-destroy po yan. Kaya yung bayan ng Diyos nasa Babylonia, they were captivated. They are in captivity. Kaya nga po, they are obliged to obey what the empire is commanding them. Ngunit may tumayo doon, si Daniel at yung kasama niya, no? Ngunit noong na-fall, nahulog, natalo po ang Babylonia, ay yun na nga po, mga kapatid, ay sinundan po ni Cyrus na nagkaroon na po siya ng dekrito, lahat ng mga Jews, balik kayo sa Jerusalem para maitayo muli ang templo. Sa pangalawa, kay Darius, ay patuloy po yan na dahil nandun si Daniel. Si Daniel po ay close friend nitong Darius. Kaya nga po, itong si Darius ay talagang he loves God's people. That's why they have decree to restore back the building of the temple because it was destroyed. Okay? At sa kay Artaxerxes, mga kapatid, ay natupad po yun because there is a death decree. Mayroon pong death decree si Artaxerxes na ang sino mang mag-object, ang sino mang mag-oppose sa pagpapatayo po ng templo ay patayin. Yan po ang nangyari. Bakit natupad po na kung saan ay napatayo po ang templo. Kaya doon po nag-umpisa rin yung tinatawag nating 457 up to 1844 na 2,300 days. Kaya significant po siya, mga kapatid. Kaya we will focus our concentration on the top half of the chart that deals with the temple type. Ito po yung half, ito po yung nangyari na. Okay? Nangyari na po ito, mga kapatid. At itong nasa baba ay actually ang kanyang type, antitype. Ito po ay type, ito po yung antitype. Ibig sabihin, ito po ang kaganapan literal at ang kaganapan typical na kung saan ay ito po yung fulfillment na mga nangyayari sa kapanahon ng yon. Okay? Ngayon, the first picture on the top left represents Solomon's temple. Ito na po, mga kapatid. Kaya ito po ay Solomon's temple na pinatayo niya po. And then, na-destroyed po ito. Sabi po rito, na kung saan, and on the top right, the second temple that was built. Ito po yung second temple. na nabuild po sa panahon ni Artaxerxes. At yun din po ang umpisa ng 2,300 days. Kaya napaka-importante po na ating maunawaan ito. Na ito po pala yung mga background, historical na mga kaganapan na ito po ay naglalarawan ng mga mangyayari in the last days. Because the 1844, mga kapatid, is the start of restoration of God's people. Kaya nga po doon din na-establish yung Seventh-day Adventist because this is actually the restoration of God's people as a temple of God. Okay, nakuha niyo po mga kapatid na itong pagtatayo po ng templo bago po mo nag-umpisa ang 2,300 days, ayon po ay significant na type dahil mayroon pong katuparan sa ating kapanahonan. Okay? At sabi pa po rito, or the rebuilding of the first after it was destroyed. Kasi na-destroyed po yan mga kapatid. Ano? So yung first temple was destroyed and it was restored. Okay? At yung restoration na yan mga kapatid ay nangyari po mga kapatid na after the 70 years of Israel's captivity. Okay. So yan po ay kasama po sa kasaysayan natin pong pinapag-aralan. Ano? The information between the two temples is events that it transpired between those two periods. They also serve as a type of those below. Okay. Paano mo natin maipaliwanag po yan? Okay. Ito pong mga pangyayari in the ancient, okay, sa nakaraan po. Okay? Pagtatayo po ng temple, first temple, na-destroy, and there are decrees. May mga dekrito po na ipinapataw para ma-restore po ang temple. Yan po ay literal na temple, ano? Okay. So ito po ay mga tatlong dekrito na ito po ay naglalarawan din ng mga dekrito sa ating kapanahunan. Ibig sabihin, the Christian era. Okay. Itong nakita po ninyo itong cross. Okay. Ito po yung cross. Ito po ay kapanahunan ni Kristo. Na kung saan ang kanyang nadatnan na templo dito ay what? Ayun po yung second temple. Ito po yung second temple. So, atin pong binigyan po ng pansin na at the Christian era, noong dumating na po si Kristo at siya po ang tagapagligtas, na kung saan siya po yung katapusan ng templo o ng sanctuaryo. Okay? Dahil ito po yung temple is actually a sanctuary where God dwells in them. So ito po yung nung pumasok na po si Kristo sa kasaysayan, siya po ay nag-glorify ng temple na ginawa sa panahon ni Artaxerxes. Within 7 weeks, ang 7 weeks po ay times 7 is 49. Okay? 49 equals to actually days, 49 days, 49 years po yan sa prophecy. So within 49 years, ang templo po ay naitayo. Okay? From 457. No? At natayo po yan. Yan po ang nadatnan ni Kristo. Kaya nung dumating si Kristo, ito na po yung tinatawag natin na second section or tinatawag natin the antitype. Antitype po ng unang temple. Itong unang temple pinatayo ni Solomon. Okay. Dito sa Christian era, si Kristo po ang nagtapos po ng sistema ng sanctuaryo. At siya po ang nag-glorify ng templo. Bagamat ito po ay kalaunan na destroy. It was destroyed during the 70 years of captivity by Roman Empire. Mapansin niyo po mga kapatid na sa itaas, it was Babylon that destroyed. Okay? The people had been in captivity. And the same is true at the bottom. Ito po yung nasa baba, ito po yung pagan o yung Roma. Roma is considered as Babylon as well. Okay? So it is actually the same events, mga kapatid. So ito po yung tinatawag na typology. The type, antitype, na kung saan ayon po sa Acts of Apostles, page 14, na types and symbols are actually what? A compacted gospel prophecy. So ito po ay propesya na kung saan ay makita po natin in our prophetic eye, because as a church, we have the spirit of prophecy that we can see to it, mga kapatid, na itong larawan na pagtatayo po ng templo is also significance because it is the building of the spiritual temple of God. As Ephesians chapter 2 verse 19 to 22. Ito po yung sinabi ng Biblia, no? Para klaro po tayo na hindi lang po tayo nagawa-gawa ng mga kwento, ano? Nabase po yan sa Biblia. Sabi po rito, "Now therefore, ye are no more strangers and foreigners, but fellow citizens with the saints and of the household of God, and are built upon the foundation of the apostles and the prophets, Jesus Christ himself being the chief cornerstone." Okay. Now, when he entered into the temple, actually hindi po siya kinilala. Hindi po siya kinilala ng mga Jews, especially the leaders. He was rejected. But he was actually the cornerstone of the temple that God will establish. Kaya after his resurrection, mga kapatid, that's the start, mga kapatid, na kung saan he is restoring back the tinatawag natin, mga kapatid, yung pag-asa na siya po yung cornerstone na maitatayo muli ang templo ng Panginoon. Ngunit may nangyari po sa kasaysayan na during the Roman Empire, 70 years na captivity of the Jews. Kaya nga po, bagamat sila po ay in captivity, God has feed them. Pinakain po sila. And it was, they have been preserved, mga kapatid. Kaya sabi po rito, "In whom all the building fitly framed together groweth unto an holy temple in the Lord, in whom ye also are builded together for an habitation of God through His Spirit." Through the Spirit, mga kapatid. Kaya nga po, makita po ninyo dito na in this chart, itong temple that was destroyed by the Roman Empire, okay, ito po yung na-destroy po dito. There is what we call the first decree, dahil Babylon will also fall. Ang Babylon literal na fall, di po ba? Ngayon, in the antitype, Babylon here is represented by Rome. At it was also fall because of the message na kung saan ay particularly it was the new message that made it possible that the building of God's people will be restored, mga kapatid. Ito na po yung restoration dito. Yung 1844. Kaya significant po siya, mga kapatid, na yung 1844 message is actually the same with the what? The decree that was declared by Cyrus na ipanumbalik na po yung bayan ng Diyos because they had been in captivity. Kaya ang bayan ng Diyos bilang Seventh-day Adventist, mga kapatid, nandoon naka-establish. The 1888 message, or 1844, sorry, 1844 message is actually a message that restore back the temple of God, which is you and me, mga kapatid. Pero yan po ay first decree. Unang mensahe po yan na dumating sa iglesia. Okay. Tingnan po natin, mga kapatid, sa ating pagpapatuloy. The second set of the information below, as I explained already actually mga kapatid na itong temples na ito ay temples reflect the antitypical application of the top portion. Yun pong sinasabi natin. Itong mga nasa baba po, ito na po yung tinatawag natin na reflection or katuparan. Okay? Dahil siya po yung antitype. Yung antitype po ay kahawig ng nangyari na. Okay? Na kung saan iyan po ang nagpapakita po rito. Na ang katuparan po rito sa templo ni Solomon, napakaganda po ng templo ni Solomon, ano? Pero physically po yan. Napakaganda kung compare po sa second temple, ano? Ang first temple exceed in its physical grandeur. Napakaganda po ng templo ni King Solomon, no? Ngunit ang pangalawang templo po ay tinatawag po natin ito na parang punch po siya, yung mababang klase, ano? Na it's actually not really that good, but it's the temple of God. Ngunit it was glorious when Christ came, mga kapatid. Dahil siya po ang nag-glorify. Now, nawala na po yung mga seremonyas, ano? So, ito po ay for example dito, the antitypical of the first literal temple would represent the first section of the Christian church. Pag sinabi po nating first section of the Christian church, yan po ay unang bahagi ng Kristyanismo. At ito po ang sa kapanahunan ni Kristo. At dito po makikita natin in the last part na this is the last part, the second section. So ibig sabihin, ang Christianity po ay na-divide into two section. Okay? First was actually from the crucifixion of Christ up to 538 AD. Bakit po nating sinabi po na first section yun? Dahil yun po ang larawan ng mga Kristiyano na tumutupad sa Panginoon. Dahil during that period of time, there are people who had been killed. Hanggang 538 po yan. 508 ay doon po nag-umpisa yung tinatawag natin na yung talagang talamak na pagpapatay sa mga Kristiyano na kung saan ay pag malaman po nila na nagbabasa ka, nagbabanggit ka tungkol kay Kristo, you will be martyred, you will be killed. Kaya nga po yun po yung first part of the Christianity. At ang naghati po nito ay yung Dark Ages. Yung Dark Ages po ay 538 up to what? 1798. Okay? So, mula nung 1798, mga kapatid, up to the time of the end, mga kapatid, yan po yung second part of the Christian era. Okay? So, ang transition period na nagsimula po o nahati itong early Christian church at saka yung latter part of the Christianity, ang nasa gitna po ay Dark Ages. Dahil hindi po natin makonsider na yung because it was actually the time where God feeds His people in the wilderness. Okay? So, managdagan pa po natin yan sa ating pagpapatuloy po dahil bukas it will be the additional. Okay? Kung hindi po natin explain ngayon, it will be explained tomorrow. At if you have any question, mga kapatid, I just post your comments there. All the information on the top half of the chart will be explained in its chronological settings as displayed, starting from the left to the right. The bottom half of the chart is the continuation of the second temple, na kung saan ay yung po yung continuity ng pangalawang templo, mga kapatid. The study of Zechariah 4 and its title, God's Mode of Communication. Na dito po sa part na ito na po talaga yung tinatawag natin the third decree. Okay? So, yung first decree, 1844, okay, atin po yung i-explain later. At least mayroon po kayong idea ng first decree po sa pagtatayo po ng temple ng Panginoon spiritually ay 1844. Ang pangalawa po na dekrito, mensahe na dumating po sa iglesia ay yung 1888. Yan po yung 1888. Ito po yung pangalawang dekrito na kung saan Christ our righteousness. Pero anong nangyari, mga kapatid? Katulad po kay Darius na there are still Jews who are factitious. Pag sinabi natin factitious, mga kapatid, ay opposers. Ganon din po sa 1888. There are still Seventh-day Adventists who are opposing to the message of Jones and Wagoner. That's why the temple of God has not been established. Hindi pa po na-restored fully until the time when the third decree, the third message came, mga kapatid. Ito po yung tinatawag natin na mayroon po siyang mensahe ng slaughter. Purification. Kaya nga, Ezekiel 9 po, yun po yung magtutupad na matatayo na po yung templo ng Panginoon, yung 144,000 where they will be pure. No more wrinkled, no more blemish, mga kapatid. Yun na po yung purified people of God, which is the temple of God that will give glory and honor to the name of the Lord. Yan po, mga kapatid, ang kabahagi po dito sa ating pag-aaral. Sa ulitin ay for repetition, mga kapatid, ang una pong nasa taas po na ito ng chart, ito po ang first temple na tinayo po ni Solomon. It was destroyed by the pagan worship and including Babylon. At ayun po nangyari, mga kapatid, Babylon fallen at nagkaroon po ng dekrito itong si Cyrus. Okay? That all the Jews will return back to Jerusalem and build the temple. But it was not accomplished. Hindi po natapos. Hindi po natuloy. Okay? At itong si Darius naman, mga kapatid, nagkaroon ng second decree. Okay? At hindi rin po natupad. Hindi natapos. Kaya may pinadala po ang Panginoon na dalawang propeta. Sino po yon? Si Haggai. Okay? At yun po, mga kapatid, na kung saan ay pinadala po o yung dalawang mensahero ng Panginoon para tulungan po ang pagtatayo po ng second temple. At ito rin po ang mangyayari in our time ngayon. That in the third mga kapatid, mayroong katulong. Mayroon pong propeta ang Panginoon, no? Na kung saan ay si Ellen G. White at yung kanyang sinabi na somebody is to come will restore all the truth, mga kapatid. Kaya ito po ang nakita po natin dito. Sa chart na ito, mga kapatid, ay itong 457, dekrito ni Artaxerxes, at dito po sa dekrito or mensahe ni William Miller, ayan po ay kabuuan ay 2,300 days or years na kung saan yan po yung na-prophesy kay Daniel. Ngayon, tingnan po natin, mga kapatid, yung mga tatlong dekrito. Para po lalo nating maunawaan, na itong tatlong dekrito na ito ay type ng mangyayari sa huling panahon, sa ating kapanahonan. So the first decree was made by Cyrus. Pwede nyo po screenshot, okay? At basahin nyo po yung Ezra chapter 1 verse 2 to 4. Build the temple. At yan po ay 537 BC. Yun po ang command. Dahil nahulog po o nabagsak po yung Babylonia, 536, ano? At yun na po, nag-umpisa na po si Cyrus ang Medo-Persia na kung saan ay to restore back the people of God to Jerusalem. Kaya si Cyrus po ay nagdekrito na okay, lahat ng mga Jews, balik kayo sa Jerusalem at itayo nyo ang temple. Pero hindi natapos. At ang pangalawang dekrito po, Ezra chapter 6, verse 11 and 12, ayan po ay 519 BC, na kung saan ay hindi rin po natapos. So it was not completed until the time when the decree, the third decree by Artaxerxes to beautify the temple, chapter 7 of Ezra 21 to 27. That was 457 BC. So yan po ay talagang natupad within 7 weeks. 7 weeks mga kapatid is equals to 49 years. At natapos po ang patayo po ng templo, pag-beautify ng city, at yun po ay naganap po sa kasaysayan. Kaya napaka-importante po mga kapatid, itong mga dekrito na after fell at the hands of Cyrus, dahil natalo po ang Babyloniano. So, king of Persia, and after the close of Israel's 70 years of the captivity, he issued a decree for the Jews to return. Ito na po yung sinasabi ko kanina, no? To return to Jerusalem for the rebuilding of their temple. But according to Ezra chapter 4, verse 24, Cyrus' decree and also another that was issued a few years later were both frustrated. Yan po yung sinasabi natin. Hindi po siya natuloy. Okay? Hindi po natapos ang rebuild po ng temple, the second temple. In the second year of the reign of Darius, king of Persia, the work altogether ceased. Nahinto po talaga. Kaya apparently there was no hope of ever resuming again. Para bagang nawala na sila ng pag-asa na hindi naman itayo po yung temple. Kaya ito po yung tatlong mga dekrito na kung saan ay sa pangalawa ay para bagang nahinto na at wala na silang pag-asa na matayo pa. Ngunit dumating po itong si Artaxerxes. At yun po ang kanyang dekrito. Then it was that the prophets, ito na po yung sinabi ko, na may dalawang propeta po, si Haggai at si Zechariah, were called to their prophetic office and commissioned to revive and reorganize the builders for the deserted temple project. Kaya nga po ang mga kapatid ay talagang nagpadala ang Panginoon ng propeta in order for the Jews to establish the temple. The literal temple, mga kapatid, na kung saan ito po ay larawan din ng mangyayari sa spiritual temple, where God will also call two prophets to rebuild the temple of God. So the happy and surprising result was that within 4 short years, the stately spiritual edifice was quickly finished, whereas all the previous and strenuous efforts of kings and people covering a period of over 30 years ultimately failed, mga kapatid. Kaya yun po mga nangyari sa nakaraan na kung saan ay, yes, Cyrus gave the first decree in 537. The building of the Lord's house in Jerusalem, the temple. Mababasa po natin yan sa Jeremiah chapter 29 verse 1 and 10, Ezra chapter 1 verse 1 to 4. Kaya mayroon po siyang biblical foundation kung paano po natin na-dig up yung historical na kung saan ito po yung typological study of the temple belt. Then, the work ceased. Na ito po yung gawain, ano? Ezra chapter 4, 1 to 7. And then 23 and 24. So these are actually the foundation where we can say that the first decree had failed. Okay? The second decree was given by Darius in 519 BC, which completed the building of the temple. Na-completed siya po, pero mayroon pa ng oppose po na kung saan ay hindi pa na-beautify. Ibig sabihin, it's not completely talaga na kung saan ay si Artaxerxes Longimanus issued the third decree. Kaya mayroon pong kinakailangan ng third decree in the autumn of 457 BC. The command was to restore. Ibig sabihin po ng mga kapatid, natigil, restore and build Jerusalem, the city, not the temple, and beautify it. Ibig sabihin mga kapatid, to beautify the temple. Pero yung kabuuan po na bayan o siyudad ng Jerusalem ay hindi po na built. Kaya yun din po ang mangyayari na in the third decree of the second application, the antitypical building of God's temple, there will also be what? Beautification, purification. Yun po yung mga statement na atin pong pinag-aralan po dito, na God will judge His people so that His temple, the spiritual temple, will be built, mga kapatid. So, the commandment to rebuild Jerusalem went forth in 457 BC. Kaya yun po ang ating pinagmulan ng pag-aaral po sa 2,300 years in Daniel chapter 8 verse 14, which is significant, mga kapatid, na instant, na event, na naglalarawan din po ng mga pangyayari that God will also establish a temple. The type reveals three decrees by three different kingship. So iba't ibang hari o ibang leader, mga kapatid, for the rebuilding, restoration, and beautification of the literal temple. The first by Cyrus to build the temple, but it was suppressed by the adversaries of God and brought to a stop. Yan po nangyayari. Second decree was renewed by Darius, the king, and Zerubbabel, the son of Shealtiel, and Jeshua, the son of Josadak, and began to build the house of God which is at Jerusalem. And with them were the prophets of God helping them. Kaya mga kapatid, nandun po yung pagtulong ng propeta ng Panginoon na kung sana'y maituloy at matapos po yung pag-rebuild ng temple. And third, by Artaxerxes. The antitype should also reflect three messages or three messenger, mga kapatid. Na kung sana'y, kung tatlo po yung mga messenger o mga hari po o nanguna sa mga dekrito, ganun din po in these last days. Mayroon din pong tatlong mensahero na magdadala po nito. At yun po ay atin pong pinag-aralan sa ngayon. There are three messages that were actually given na kung saan ikumpara po natin yung sinabi ko po kanina, yung second temple inferior to the first. Dahil yung napakaganda po ng templo ni Solomon. Pero yan po mga kapatid, na sabi po rito, then was given the promise that the glory of this latter house should be greater than that of the former. Ibig sabihin mga kapatid, yung templo ni King Solomon, yes, physically, napakaganda. Pero mga kapatid, mayroong propesya o promise na ang pangalawa, the second temple, will be what? Will be greater. Why? Because of the presence of Jesus Christ. Okay? Yan po mga kapatid, na kung saan ay spiritually, the temple that that has been built sa second temple, mga kapatid, ay naging glorious because of the presence of Christ. And it will also be, mga kapatid, na kung saan ang itatayo din po na second temple in the antitype will also be glorious because God's people will be pure, will be purified, and Christ will be amidst them. Kaya mayroon pong tinatawag sa prophecy na God is with us. Emmanuel. Yan po ay mapag-aralan natin sa Isaiah chapter 7 and 8. Na kung saan binanggit po yung dalawang tao doon. Ang una ay si Emmanuel. Emmanuel representing those people who are born by the flesh, by the Spirit. Ang pangalawa po na binanggit doon sa Isaiah ay si Maher-shalal-Hash-baz, the longest name in the Bible, which represents those people who are born by the flesh. Okay? So dalawa lang po yan in the last days. Kaya sabi po rito, the second temple had not equaled the first in magnificence, nor was it hallowed by visible tokens of divine presence which pertain to the first temple. There was no manifestation of supernatural power to its dedication. No cloud of glory. Yan po ang nangyari sa first temple. Ano? No fire from heaven descended. No Shekinah abode. And no voice sounded from heaven. Yan po ang kalagayan po ng templo ni King Solomon. Pero at the second temple, mga kapatid, na kung saan ay makita po natin dito na it was not honored by the clouds of glory. But Christ, mga kapatid, has arrived that He may glorify the second temple, which it will be really established the true spiritual temple of God, mga kapatid, na in these last days, yung na-destroy na typical temple, mga kapatid, it will be restored definitely. Mga kapatid, na kung saan ay sabi po rito, may sinabi po si Christ, ano? Sabi po niya, verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here. Ano po ang tinutukoy niya? Yung tinutukoy niya po, yung templo na kanyang tinatayuan. Ibig sabihin, nung pumasok po si Kristo sa templong yon, dahil po sa pag-reject sa kanya ng kanyang bayan, that temple will also be destroyed. Okay? At sabi nga po niya, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. Kaya mga kapatid, na-destroy po yung second temple. Ngayon, the whole summit of the hill which commanded the city blazed like a volcano dahil nawasak po talaga yung Jerusalem. Especially yung temple, mga kapatid, na mabasa po natin yan sa Great Controversy. Ano? The Great Controversy, pages 24, 34, and 35, na kung saan dyan po dinidescribe kung paano po na-destroy yung Second Temple. Ngayon, kung yun po ay na-destroy, ay kailangan po ng Panginoon i-rebuild. Pero hindi na po siya literal temple, kundi spiritual na po, mga kapatid. Kaya nga po dumating yung mensahe after po ng Dark Ages. Di po ba yung Dark Ages ay 538 up to 1798? And it takes time, mga kapatid, to restore back dahil niyurakan po yung katotohanan. Kaya ang Diyos po ay nagpapakain din. Okay? Mapag-aralan po natin yan sa Ezekiel chapter 4 na there are 6 grains that God provided for the people, na kung saan yan po yung pagkain niya during the time when there was still the Dark Ages. Ano? At nangyari nga po, mga kapatid, na itong mga mensahe nito nagpatuloy hanggang sa atin ngayon. So the literal and spiritual distinction between the two temples, mga kapatid. The religious service in both temples were executed at the same manner, but in structural, magnificent, both eternal and external. Solomon's temple, comparatively speaking, was by far the greatest dahil po sa kanyang physical. Pero sinabi ko nga kanina, mga kapatid, the glory of this latter house shall be greater than the former. Mas mag-glorious po yung pangalawa. Why? Not only physically. It's not physically magnificent o napakaganda, but the presence of Christ make it glorious, mga kapatid. Yun po yung ibig sabihin po rito, na kung saan ay literal grandeur. Yes, napakaganda po yung first temple ni Solomon. Pero yung pangalawa po mga kapatid, both temples cannot typify the same period of the Christian era. So ito po yung mga first temple na yan. Yung first temple kay Solomon, sa time po yan ng ancient Israel. Ito po yung pangalawang temple sa panahon po ni Kristo. Yan po ay time na ng mga Kristiyano. Ang pangalawang temple, it was broken down, kaya nagkaroon po ng rent yung temple, ano? It was rent into two na nabiak po yan sa panahon na namatay si Kristo. So the cross of Christ or the death of Christ ended the system of ceremonies, because Christ himself is the last offering. Now he is the substitution. He substitute those sinners na kung saan ay sa halip na magdala pa po sila ng tupa para patayin, ay hindi na po. Kaya yun po ang nag-glorify sa pangalawang templo, ano? So the type shows that the Christian church in this instance is divided into two sections. Ito po yung sinasabi ko kanina. So then, in the type, the second temple denotes that the latter section of the church is to be by far the greater, which in comparison, the former stands as nothing. So yung nakaraan po ng Christian era, ikumpara po natin sa latter part of the Christian era, mas matindi, mas grandeur itong pangalawa, because the 144,000 will be glorious. Ayan. So ito po mga kapatid yung makikita natin na ito po yung makahulang pananaw sa mga pag-aaral po dito sa tinatawag natin na prophetic insight. Ano? Na kung saan the Christian era in two section. Nabanggit ko na po ito kanina pero ulitin po natin na the two literal temples successively built in ancient Jerusalem. Okay? Yan pong tandaan natin. Yung unang first and second na temple po mga kapatid ay na-built po yan sa panahon ng Jerusalem. Ngayon, we go into the spiritual temple. Okay? Christ. Christ ended the ceremonies and he established the Christian church. Okay? Na pinangalanan po sa kanyang pangalan, Christian, because of Christ. Now, once na namatay si Kristo, yan po ang umpisa ng tinatawag natin na yung Christian era. At ang Christian era po, mga kapatid, was divided into two. Kaya sa Revelation chapter 12, mayroon pong tinawag dyan na two wings. Sabi po rito, these two sections of church history are pointed out in the vision on Patmos. Pinakita po yan kay John. John 12 po mga kapatid. No? May binanggit po dyan. To John was shown the true spiritual church of God in all ages, in a symbol of a woman. To her were given two wings. Sa babae po ay binigyan po siya ng dalawang wings. Hindi ibig sabihin mga kapatid na lilipad siya. Okay? Ang two wings po dito ay hindi sinasabi po na swiftness, kundi ito po ay two section of the Christian church. Okay? The first section was actually from the crucifixion up to the time of the start of the Dark Ages. 538. So yan po yung first section of Christian. Early Christian. Okay? At dumating po yung tinatawag Dark Ages. The 1260 years na nasa prophecy mga kapatid. So the wilderness represents the Dark Ages, in which time she was out of civilization. Yan po yung Dark Ages. So therefore, ito na po yung sinasabi ko kanina, in-explain po natin. This prophetic period of 1260 years split the true church in two sections. Ibig sabihin mga kapatid, ang naghati sa Kristiyanong kapanahunan ay yung Dark Ages. Ang unang bahagi, from crucifixion up to the time of 538, nagsimula yung Dark Ages, yan po yung unang section, okay, ng Christianity. The early Christian Church. Okay? Ngayon, ang Dark Ages, 538 up to 1798. Dito naman po nag-umpisa yung last section of the Christian Church. So the latter part of the Christian Church. Okay, nakuha niyo po mga kapatid, na itong 1798, doon po nag-umpisa. No? Na kung saan ay yan po yung nag-split. Okay? So sabi po rito, this is not saying that the God had no true people between. Hindi naman po ito sinasabi na during the Dark Ages, walang bayan ng Diyos. Ano? Dahil ano pong nangyari dyan? For the word of God says, she is nourished for a time and times and a half of time. So ibig sabihin, pinapakain sila sa wilderness. Okay? At during that time, nasa saan sila? Nasa kabundukan. So God's people are being preserved, but that during the time ay wala pong visible. Hindi po malantaran yung bayan ng Diyos at that time because God is preserving them in the wilderness. Yung sa mga kapatid, wildernesses, ano? They are fed by the Lord there. At noong pagkatapos po niyan, mga kapatid, ayan na po mga kapatid lumabas. The Christian Church into section na kung saan ay napahayag po yan sa mga biblical terms, na kung saan ay temples, churches, or women. Yan po ang mga symbols of a church. Na kung saan ay the temples and the woman represent the church as a body. Or in other words, the symbol of the woman is a revelation of the types, temples. And the temples are symbolical prophecies of the woman, the church. It will be noticed that the separate members of the church are represented by the composite substance of the temple. Pag sinabi po natin temple, ay nagre-representa po yan sa bayan ng Diyos. Hindi po yung building, ano? Yung building po, yan po yung type niya. Okay? Sa ngayon po, we are God's temple. So ibig sabihin, you and I will be a part of God's temple. Kaya nga po, ang mensahe ng Panginoon nag-umpisa 1844 para maibalik ang tunay na iglesia ng Diyos. Kaya Seventh-day Adventist po. Okay? Kaya nandito na po tayo ngayon bilang Seventh-day Adventist. Kaya I can say, sabi rito, therefore these two temples represent both the church and Christ. Christ, our high priest, is prefigured by the chief cornerstone and his priestly administration by the ceremonial or the sanctuary service of the two literal temples. Okay? So yan po mga kapatid, yung pag-aaral dito sa makahulang pananaw, it's somewhat deep. Malalim po siya mga kapatid. Pero if you are not taking in consideration the Spirit of God that will guide us into understanding these things, mga kapatid, mawala po tayo. Okay? So, the first section of the Christian Church, the antitypical temple, ay mababasa po natin ito sa Desire Wages, 597 mga kapatid. Na kung saan ay sinasabi po rito na the foundation stone of the Jewish church and even to our time today is Christ mga kapatid. Pero they have rejected it. Kaya as a nation, the Jews had been rejected. Kaya ang templo na tatayo ng Panginoon ngayon, ang cornerstone ay si Kristo. Ibig sabihin, siya po yung fundasyon ng templo na kanyang itatayo na kung saan ay sa pamagitan po ng mensahe. Okay? Kaya nga po ngayon, mag-umpisa po siya sa 1844. Dahil doon po nag-umpisa ang tunay na iglesia ng Diyos, ang Seventh-day Adventist. Kaya yung 1844 message, mga kapatid, is the first decree of the restoration back of the temple that had been destroyed, mga kapatid. Bakit? Dahil ang mga early Christians had been actually destroyed, mga kapatid. Ang katotohanan was actually trodden down. Kaya Daniel 8 po yan. Kaya malalim po, marami pa pong pag-aralan natin sa Daniel chapter 8. Ano? Notice that the first three bars, ito po yung three. 1, 2, 3. On the left and on the right, the type and antitype. So ito po yung antitype niya. Okay? So ito po yung nangyari na at ito po yung mga nangyayari ngayon. Na kung saan ang Panginoon po ay nagnanais ng kanyang templo ay maitayo. Ang templo na pinag-usapan po natin dito, yung ikaw at ako. Bayan ng Diyos. Kaya ang 1844 message ay binigay. Yan po yung first na decree. Ang pangalawang dekrito po ay noong 1888 na kung saan ni-reject din po. Kaya nga po bukas atin pong dugtungan ito, ano? Na kung saan ay para po manawaan po natin why is it that 1844 message is very significant because we are a part of that fulfillment, mga kapatid. Kaya bukas, wag kayong mawawala dahil mayroon pa pong second decree na dapat po manawaan natin. And then third decree na kung saan ay makikita po natin na God's temple will truly be established. Dahil mayroon po siyang pure na bayan na kanyang kinumpun, mayroon pong yuning, mayroon pong pagsapsap kasi may quarry po. Okay? Sa quarry po, mga kapatid, para maitayo yung temple ay sinasapsapan na po yun sa bundok. Ang bundok po is God's people. Kaya huwag po tayo magtataka na dyan sa ating church, maingay. No? Mayroong mga tao dyan na sila pa ang ginagamit ng kaaway para matest tayo ang karakter natin. Kaya nga mga kapatid, ay kailangan po natin mag-sigh and cry for all the abominations that are being done in the church. Kasi may nangyayari po sa church natin. Kaya itong mensahe po, mga kapatid, ay para talaga sa ating church. Pero nire-reject tayo. Pero mga kapatid, patuloy lang. Even you will be rejected, even Christ has been rejected. So maging katulad ka po kay Kristo, isang bato. Bato na buhay. Kaya sinabi diyan sa Peter po, mga kapatid, 1 Peter 2:5 and 4 and 5, na we are also lively stones. Tayo po ay buhay na mga bato na sinasapsapan ngayon para pagdating ng araw na pag mapolish na po yan, ma-purify na po yan, ma-judge na po yan, then you are a part of the temple of God. Amen, mga kapatid. So God's temple, the church, will be purified. Kaya dagdagan po natin bukas yan. Huwag po tayo mawawala. At maraming salamat. Kung mayroon po kayong mga question, reaction, sa ating mga kapatid po na subaybay po sa Facebook, maaari lamang pong mag-comment kayo dyan. And then share. If you like it, and then comment. You ask question para po ating matugunan at may bigyan po kayo ng mga documents, mga pag-aaral po nito dahil nais ko rin po na maunawaan po natin ito, no? Okay? So kung wala na po mga reaction sa ating mga attendees today, I am happy that you are here, you are following us, and also for those people who will be following our study for today. Okay? So sa pagtatapos po ay tayo po ay manalangin. Our dear and kind lovely Father, once again, oh God, we are so thankful for the message that we have heard today, that may your Spirit will enable us to understand the things that we have studied, O God. Na kung sana'y sa iba naming mga kapatiran, I think manibago po sa mga mensaheng ito. Ngunit nais po namin, Panginoon, na kayo po nawa ang mangusap at himukin niyo po ang kanilang mga puso at isipan upang kanilang maunawaan ang mga bagay na ito, Panginoon, na nais po ninyo na ang inyong iglesia ay malinis dahil dito po mag-uumpisa na ang sanglibutan ay maligtas din. Na the earth will be lightened with God's glory, O God. Kaya tulungan ng bawat isa sa amin na kami po ay maging liwanag, maging halimbawa na kayo po ang siyang namuhay sa aming mga buhay. Dahil wala po kaming kakayanan, kayo lamang po ang siyang aming inaasahan na maging kabahagi at mangusap at magkontrol sa aming mga buhay. Dahil wala po kaming kakayanan na gawin ang mga bagay na spiritual. Dahil kami po ay patay spiritually dahil sa kasalanan. Kaya po aming tinatagubilin po sa inyong lahat at aming po inasahan na mangyari ang inyong kalooban, hindi ang sa amin. Binabalik po namin sa inyo ang papurit papasalamat dahil lamang po sa matamis na pangalan ng aming Panginoong Hesus. Amen. Let the words of our mouth and the meditations of our hearts be acceptable unto thine sight, O Lord, our strength and our Redeemer. Amen. Amen po mga kapatid. God bless. Brother Marshall, God bless po sa inyo. Sister Lily, Sister Erin, brothers and sisters, those who are following our FB, thank you so much and God bless you and goodbye today. Okay?